Hello, my name is Alicia Harrell. I'm going to go ahead and explain what quantitative easing is. Typically, the Federal Reserve targets the federal funds rate in order to affect the economy. By purchasing bonds from the banks, the Fed increases the money supply. This decreases demand for cash, which lowers the interest rate. The process of quantitative easing is similar. However, instead of looking at short-term securities, quantitative easing targets long-term securities. For example, in quantitative easing, the Fed would purchase longer maturity treasuries, mortgage securities, or corporate debt. This both injects money into the economy and reduces the interest rate for longer-term lending. So how does this concept work, and how is this applied in the 2008 recession? Quantitative easing is effective in certain situations. For example, it is a good method for helping the economy resist the effects of a recession. The Great Recession of 2008 is an excellent example. Here, the Fed began a policy of quantitative easing into the late 2008 when they purchased $100 billion of agency debt and $500 billion of mortgage-backed securities. The following year, they purchased an additional $750 billion in mortgage-backed securities. In 2010, the Fed announced a program to buy $75 billion in long-term Treasury bonds monthly. In 2011, they announced a program to buy $400 billion in long-term treasuries while selling off an equal amount of short-term treasuries. Quantitative easing programs were ended in October of 2014 and have been credited with preventing the recession from developing into a depression. Here's an example. Consider an economy that has been stalled. Through quantitative easing, the Fed can purchase long-term treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. This reduces the interest rate for things like business loans, auto loans, and mortgages. This stimulates purchasing and investment, which stimulates growth, helping the economy to recover and begin to grow again. It has been claimed by some that this policy favors the rich and not the poor. Is that true? Is the question. Well, people claim that quantitative easing favors to the rich over the poor. This certainly seems to be the case, as it favors those who have the funds to invest, as well as those who hold the stocks that see gains from the improved economic growth. For example, a 2011 report from the Bank of England regarding its quantitative easing policies found that 40% of the economy's $970 billion in gains went to the richest and 5% of the households. Thus, it definitely seems that quantitative easing disproportionately benefits the wealthy. Benefits the wealthy. Explain in the basic, simple words to a high school student so that they can understand. Well, in the summary, quantitative easing is a process where the Fed can purchase longer-term securities, increasing the money supply, while also reducing long-term interest rates, which encourages economic growth through investment. I hope this helps. Thank you so much. I learned so much this semester, and I hope you have a great day, Professor.